They've asked what topic I wanted to speak of, and I've been pretty passionate about this topic of intentional leadership, certainly during times of transformation. What Adam didn't talk about are some of the other things we're doing internally. We're taking about 10% of our operating costs out of the business. We have a commitment to do that. It's our cost and process initiative. We're essentially lean playbooking all of our organization. And we're going through that across the organization as we speak today. And we'll kind of go through that through the middle of next year. But we're taking significant costs out of our business to be more competitive. And we're being more competitive on behalf of all of you, our customer owners. There's no doubt about it. That's the reason why we're making some of the tough changes. But intentional leadership, as you're going through this transformation, including the things that was just mentioned, is really about three things I think employees want. And I think is what they need. And I'm going to talk about those three, and then I'm going to role play. And Clay, who happened to be the first one sitting down in that role, he's going to be my crew leader. I'm going to role play on what I believe intentional leadership looks like and feels like. Right? So what do employees want during transformation? They want clarity, they want connection, and they want to know that people care. Right? People care. That's the one I get emotional about. Right? You're going to see that. So let's talk a little bit about what that means, what clarity means, right? Employees want to know where you're going, about how you're going to get there, and about the steps you need to take, right? They need that clarity. But they also need clarity about what their accountability is and how they fit into that, right? How they fit into that vision, how they fit into that work, how they fit into the organization that's going through some change, because it's not like it was before, and it can't be. This energy marketplace that I live in is changing faster than we've seen anything in our industry change. No doubt about that. They want connection. They want connection not only with what the vision and the mission is and the core values and strategic directives and strategic initiatives and maybe their key accountabilities or the corporate scorecard, right? They want to know how they make a difference in those. And I'm going to role play through what that may look like. Right? What I think it looks like as an intentional leader. But they also want the connection to the leadership of the organization. That's why we've done some pretty amazing things for our organization, where I think our executive team has done 100 plus employee roundtables over the course of this year. Where we've been out to every single employee across the organization talking about all these changes in so many ways. My commitment to the folks at Fort Calhoun, I'll be out there all day tomorrow talking about the changes and the decommissioning changes we're going through. They need to have that connection to the leadership of the organization. And I'm going to, in this role play with Clay, I'm going to talk about why that connection is so important, specifically for the leadership. And then the last piece is about care. Right? Now Jason Lortzen, I didn't see him here today, would talk about that's love. Care is like love. And by the way, on these three elements of clarity, connection, and care, our customers want that too. Right? But our employees want people to care about them in so many different ways. Right? So I'm going to set up my role play to stay somewhere close in my 7 minutes and to not allow this individual to give me a boot, is to talk about what that role play is. And the role play is set up as this. On January 4th of this year, we started a safety observation program where executives, including myself, I was the first one to do it, stepped out with a crew and did a safety observation about how they were performing on a job site. And essentially, I'm going to now debrief with Clay, my crew leader on that job at 204th and Pacific, about what I observed and what I saw. And what I'm going to try to do is to, one, provide great clarity on the behaviors and the attitudes and the communication that I saw on that crew. I'm going to try to connect it with core values and our strategic directive and our corporate scorecard and why it's so important for them to operate like that. And then I'm going to exhibit a care that I would say is even new to me. And it's kind of a new leadership, intentional leadership practice that I'm incorporating on. So I'm going to debrief Clay. And by the way, you're his crew. I don't know if you knew that, right? You look a lot cleaner than those guys did. They were digging a manhole, duck line. They were serving a customer, probably one of Jay's projects, would be my guess. Clay, I had the great opportunity to see you guys in your tailgate today. I tell you what I was impressed with, very clearly, is the way that you asked your team, what are the hazards that you see on this job site at 204th and Pacific? Very busy. You asked every single member of your team what they thought a hazard was, and then you asked each one of them what you thought a mitigation strategy ought to be. I tell you, that's the engagement we want in our crew leaders. I tell you, I was incredibly impressed to see that. And by the way, team, I was incredibly impressed on how you were open to share that. And what I certainly saw in this communication between all of you was the manner in which you care for each other, which, by the way, is one of our core values, care for each other. And I was just delighted to see that. Keep up that great work, because I think it's really important. Because the work that you're doing on this job is meant to be safe, right? And your commitment to that safety is certainly one of our strategic initiatives. It's one of our corporate scorecards. And by the way, what I saw today in your work will lead us to what we believe is going to be our best safety year in 70 years of history at OPPD. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you for that commitment as a crew leader. Thank you for that commitment as a crew. That was really important. And Ryan, I thought it was really important when you said, you know, we have to do this job safely, right? Because we have to serve that customer at the end of the day. And that's another core value that we have, passion to serve. It's also a strategic initiative and part of our core scorecard on customer satisfaction. That's why we're a #1 utility in the Midwest for customer satisfaction. So you're living it. You're living our core values. You're living our scorecard. You're living the great work here at OPPD, and I want to thank you for that.
Amy.
Yeah, way you, way all of you. Thank you very much for that commitment. So it doesn't end there, right? I'm going to be almost done, I know, all right? But it doesn't end there. So what I do in my attentional leadership, right, the words up there are meant to be purposeful, premeditated, predetermined, right? So what I do is I send a note to Clay and his wife. You married?
Not anymore.
His new wife, Clay and Jill, and I send it to Clay and Jill, and I'm going to repeat some of the same things that I told him in my note that I'm sending home to him. Because I want his wife to know about his commitment to his crew. I want his wife to know about his commitment to customer satisfaction and customer service. And I want his wife to know that we are so pleased with the work that he's done. And by the way, I'm going to thank her. I'm going to thank her for allowing us to take Clay in the weekends, on birthdays and holidays out to serve our customer owners. And how impactful is that? How intentional is that? And so I would ask you tonight to think about tomorrow, what is your intentional leadership practice that you're going to incorporate tomorrow with you and your employees? Thank you very much.